I've played many Deltarune Fangames on this channel, so obviously, let's rank them. I'll be ranking them in these categories: difficulty, music, and quality. Please like and subscribe for more content like this, and enjoy the video. Scampton The Great is a fantastic game with amazing colors, music, and overall vibe. It may not be the most difficult fan game that I've ever played, but it was extremely fun. The idea of the Science Soul to parry attacks like in Cuphead is so awesome, and I hope Toby does something like that if he ever makes Science Soul mode. The attacks are fantastic too, and I love how you have to use the parry mechanic to beat his last attack. Now let's talk about the music, and oh my lord, I've been jamming to the Big Bang for many months now, and it's easily one of my favorite Deltarune fan-made soundtracks. It sounds exactly how I would expect it to sound, with all the random sound effects, and how it's like from some sort of cartoon. It's just so bouncy, if you know what I mean. I love this song. Now, the story doesn't disappoint either. This is Deltarune Chapter rewritten, so it's practically the underswap of the Deltarune universe. In this fight, you are basically fighting Scampton if he was in Jevel's role as a locked-away jester. That is already fantastic. I would love if they made more games on this AU, like maybe a Junkill fan game. The sprites of this game are fantastic too. The little bouncy animation is so cool, and also, this is a Deltarune fan game with Undertale fight POV. Overall, the quality is amazing. In conclusion, this game is a masterpiece, no doubt. This is easily S tier. Mike's Big Showdown is what the community thought Tenna was gonna be before Chapter 3 released, and I think they had a pretty good idea of what he would look like. Talking difficulty though, it wasn't difficult, but I do think that the idea of the Blue Soul thing having a sort of dive attack was very cool. Now onto the music. Laugh Track sounds really good, and I like how it has little Scampton motifs and the Freedom motif. It's actually really jammy, but to me it doesn't really give the vibe of a TV character. I think this one feels a little too epic. Unless there's something in the story that I don't know, like he got possessed or something. Don't get me wrong, it's a great song, but it just doesn't really give me the right vibe. However, the sprites are very good in this game. I think this might be the closest we've ever gotten to Tenna before he released, and I think that's awesome. I'm not sure what the story is in this game though. Mike just sort of appeared in front of the fountain and fought us. I don't know how. In conclusion, this may not be the best game that I've ever played, but it's pretty good. B tier. Scampton Restitched is a great game with amazing music, cool sprites, and 2 phases. The difficulty of this fan game isn't really that bad, but it was a little challenging. I can't really say much about the fight because it's basically a Scampton Neo fight that's a little more difficult. Phase 2 is cool though. I never really thought of using Susie's ultimate heal like that, and it was very creative. If you're wondering what the heal did, was that it only healed around 1 or 2 HP per 100 TP. So that's why it was basically a joke. But after Susie was the only one standing, and Chris and Ralse were only around -4 HP each, you had to revive them so that you can cut the final string on Scampton using the ultimate heal. Now, onto the music, and I've gotta say, it's grown on me. I just expected something maybe a little faster when I first played it, but after really listening to it again, it sounds really jazzy and slower, but it makes sense because Scampton is practically a god right now. It gives me a vibe of a more powerful Scampton, and that's exactly what they were going for. The sprites and animation look very good, and I like how Scampton has angel wings, which gives him the look of having a second life. But that's the only change of sprites in this fight, besides him going Super Saiyan. The story is also pretty cool. Scampton getting restitched is an idea that I never really thought of, and is very interesting. Overall, this game is a great Deltarune fan game. A tier. Inexistent Freedom is an incredible fan game where you fight Sans, Jevel, and Scampton in one fight! The difficulty isn't really that bad, but oh my god, these effects! The only part that I think was hard was that one phone attack, but besides that, it's almost a cakewalk. It's not the most difficult game, but the adrenaline rush that you get is insane! The music is easily some of the best in Deltarune fan games. It's just so good. The Scampton motifs go so well with the Jevel motifs, and somehow they added Sans into this, which just makes it so much better. Just thinking about this music makes me bob my head. The sprites aren't anything new, but the use of them is fantastic. The effects are all perfectly timed, and the menu moves without you controlling it. What I think is also really cool is how they made it that if you're under a certain amount of HP, it heals, and if you aren't, you attack. In conclusion, this game is awesome. Before we move on, just take a look at this fight, man!
Chaos.
Yo. Alright. Big shot! Big shot! Ah! Where we go? What is happening? Ah! Come on! No! Bluster! Holy crap! Ah! What happened? Did we beat it? Hello? I think we beat it, guys! Holy cow, I went through like so many emotions there, man. Like I went through like happiness, sadness, anger, and like surprise. If that's even an emotion. I got like, what the hell is this game? It's amazing. Deltarune Chaser is a game with multiple soul modes and endings, and I feel like this game is really underrated. The difficulty isn't the most difficult, but it makes up for that with all the new attacks with the soul modes. Once you get to the final attack, it does a whole soul mode rush thing, where it attacks you with all the things that you use the soul modes to avoid, and that is awesome. I just used soul modes like 5 times in that sentence. The music is also really good, and it makes me think of an epic battle. It doesn't really have any motifs from other bosses because it's completely new. The sprites are also very good, and it reminds me of the Roaring Knight way before we knew what it looked like. The story is also cool. I always love when they add new characters to the game, just like in Undertale Red. In conclusion, this game is a great game. A tier. A Different Snowgrave is an amazing Deltarune fan game where Noelle casts a Snowgrave spell on Chris instead of Birdly. The difficulty is very difficult for this game. I personally think that this is the most difficult Deltarune fan game that I've ever played. The amount of strategy was more than I expected when it came to snowgraving specific parts of Scampton for easier attacks. The music is amazing, and I think it was a cool detail to add the Megalovania motif in the song because of the Snowgrave Road being some sort of Deltarune's genocide route. It was practically a better version of Big Shot. The story is easily one of the best. Noelle killing Chris is something that I never really thought of for an AU, and Scampton fighting Noelle in the final battle was really cool. I think the sprites were also fantastic in the game. The Giga Scampton sprite was very well made, and the fact that you froze parts of him, then you had to freeze his core, was awesome. In conclusion, this was an amazing fan game to play, and one of the most difficult ones, S tier. Well, there's my ranking for these 6 fan games. If you guys disagree, you're wrong, and I'll be watching you. Jokes aside, thank you guys so much for watching the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and goodbye!